Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ideanthro for what I suppose is another That's Like WSUD episode. Because I suppose the solution to this problem that I've had running around in my head, because this episode is about something that's been just niggling away a little bit in the back of my head here, the solution has definitely been inspired by something I listened to in this instance. So what's the problem that's been bugging me? Well, ever since I started producing these videos, I've had a little bit of a concern that they might come across as me trying to say this is the one truth about water-sensitive urban design, or the one truth about this element of water-sensitive urban design, we must do it this way. Come across as very preachy and definitive, and that's not really my intention. My intention here has been to share ideas such that, if it's useful for you, you can pick it up and use it, or regardless actually. So that those ideas are out there, so that if you haven't previously experienced this point of view about water-sensitive urban design, that you can pick it up, test it yourself, and if it's useful for you, keep it and integrate it into your thinking. And if it's not useful for you, place it to the side and move on and test other things. But I have been concerned that perhaps this came across as me just going, no, my opinion's it, nothing else matters, agree with me, and that's definitely not the intention. Where I got some clarity about this, and what I wanted to share with you today, is something that I heard again from Josh Waitskin. You can tell that I like Josh Waitskin because he's popping up in quite a few of these That's Like WSUD episodes. Josh Waitskin, he was considered a child chess prodigy of sorts. He then went on to become a world champion in the martial art of Tai Chi push hands, and then went on to study Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu very deeply, and I suppose become a master learner and a teacher of learning processes. And in an interview that I heard with him, he described something that I think makes total sense here. He describes how in his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu life, he got to spend a lot of time with Marcelo Garcia, who is considered by many to be the greatest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner ever. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or BJJ, being a grappling art. So wrestling is a grappling art. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is another type of grappling. Marcelo Garcia is considered to be the most proficient, the best BJJ practitioner ever. And Josh made a comment that he said, well look, Marcelo Garcia is the most kinesthetically aware, so movement and bodily aware person that he's ever come across. That's just crazy. And Josh related it for himself, as someone walks past and going to think I'm really strange for making this video. Josh points out that he is very much a conceptual and a mental and internal, like very strategic is not the right word, but very, will think deeply and abstractly, that's the wording he used, deeply and abstractly about problems. And he made the point that while both he and Marcelo might be equally capable of solving a problem, that if he tried to force someone like Marcelo, who's very kinesthetically aware, into his internal abstract thinking process and learning processes as a chess player, that it just wouldn't work. It's not this one-size-fits-all approach. And for me, that made me go, okay. Because nonetheless, Josh is still able to share his ideas with people, and it's the fact that by putting them out there, people have the opportunity to learn from them and to decide if they apply for themselves. And that's what made me more comfortable again with producing these videos, because it's that exact point. In the same way that someone like Josh shouldn't force his approach onto someone like Marcelo, for example, it is totally appropriate for Josh to share his approach and to put it out there as something that could be adopted but might not be, but hey, Marcelo could test it if he's interested in testing it. And that's why I find this sort of sharing by video like this particularly important here. It's not because I'm trying to say this is the way to do it with respect to water-sensitive urban design, but it's me going, hey, here's an opinion, test it out yourself, see if you think that it works. If it does, sweet, integrate it into your learning. If it doesn't, well then integrate the fact that it doesn't into your learning and move on and find something else and integrate it, and just build and build and build and build in that respect. And that's it. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found that useful. This episode might be more of a This episode might actually be less about me trying to teach something and more about me trying feeling that I needed to put this out there to give myself permission to keep producing videos from here on. I recognise that might be the case, and if so, thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for giving me the space to do that. But until next time, have a good one.